guide on making the smartest moves in India's real estate. Prices, demand, supply, trends and news, everything served on a platter so you take the best buy, sell and invest decisions. Sameer Jasuja, MD and founder of PropEquity, joins me armed with data to decode the property markets across the country. So let's tell you what's on the menu today. First up, the government is all set to reintroduce the much-awaited Realty Regulator Bill in the winter session of the Parliament. We bring an exclusive sneak peek of the draft regulatory bill. Also, Noida is likely to witness a fresh supply of over 1.5 lakh homes. Yes, you heard me right, it's 1.5 lakh homes in the coming few years. But is Noida prepared to cater to such a huge influx of population? Or is it going to go the Gurgaon way, crumbling infrastructure? A special report. And of course, then we go across the country to cull out properties in your budgets. Gurgaon at 1.5 crore, Chennai best picks at 1 crore, Bangalore at 55 lakhs, that's good budget homes, and Hyderabad at 25 to 30 lakhs. Navi Mumbai, what can you get in 40 to 45 lakhs? So lots and lots of properties lined up through the show as well. First, let's get up to speed with news and corporate action in real estate.
According to an IMF report, Indian realty market has witnessed steepest fall in prices among 52 major markets in the world. IMF's calculation on the annual percentage change in property prices shows that prices in India fell by 9.1%, the highest among major real estate markets. The fall is even worse than in countries struggling with the ongoing European Union's financial crisis. Property prices in Greece, Italy, Cyprus, Spain and Portugal have all come down, but at a much slower rate. Ireland, on the other hand, registered a 4.3% increase in housing prices. Global Property Guide, one of the IMF's sources for real estate data, also confirms the downward trend of India's housing market. The organization, which collates real estate data from across the world, links this to high interest rates and slow GDP growth. The much-awaited Housing Scheme 2014 of Delhi Development Authority launched today. There are 25,034 flats up for grabs. The offer is open for all citizens of India who do not own a house in Delhi, New Delhi or Delhi-Kant area and will close on October 9. The draw will be conducted 15 to 20 days later. The scheme has 811 flats from old inventory as well as 24,223 newly constructed flats. There are over 22,000 flats in LIG category, whereas 512 MIG, 21 HIG and 384 Janta flats are up for sale. The National Green Tribunal has issued notices to the Delhi government, Delhi Pollution Control Committee and Delhi Police Commissioner directing them to stop illegal sand mining going on at the Yamuna riverbed at Wazirabad and Jagatpur bound area of NCR. NGT has directed the authorities to ensure that no illegal mining is carried on riverbed and no mining is permitted without environment clearances and consent of DPCC. NGT has also pulled up the authorities for their failure to restrain builders in Noida and Greater Noida from extracting groundwater for construction. Telangana Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao announced a slew of incentives for Hyderabad's realty industry. The CM said that his government is committing to launching satellite townships and laying nearly 1,000 kilometers of world-class city roads in and around Hyderabad. These announcements come at a time when real estate in Hyderabad is going through a transition phase, even as steady price appreciation in its property market is expected in the aftermath of the formation of the state of Telangana.
For any urban development, for any decent development, first of all, you should have the physical infrastructure. Then actually, as a real estate developers, we can go and develop the...
GVK Group, the operator of Mumbai Airport, has leased a plot of land to Oasis Realty for 580 crore rupees. The lease is part of an overall development of a 22 million square feet commercial business complex called GVK Sky City, which will be built over a period of 10 years. Mumbai International Airport, which is promoted by a GVK Group-led consortium, said that the leased land has a potential for commercial development of over 1 million square feet.
All right, we'll take you to Chennai, Hyderabad and Bangalore and cull out some great property options for you. Before that, there is good news for the home buyers of the country. The Real Estate Regulation and Development Bill seems to be back on track. Even I found it hard to believe, but it is. Urban Development and Housing Minister Venkaiah Naidu has already held several rounds of discussions with stakeholders and officials of the ministry. There's one more meeting planned this month, that's in September, after which the ministry is planning to place the bill before the cabinet, incorporating the recommendations of the Parliamentary Standing Committee. The bill will then be reintroduced in the Parliament in the winter session. Oinatam Moja takes us through what the draft bill is likely to look like. Oinatam, so let's just first go through the big changes since December last year when the bill was introduced. Of course, didn't go anywhere in the Rajya Sabha to now. What form or state is it in?
Well, first up, Manisha, commercial real estate will also be included along with the residential property. So these also will come under the purview of the bill. Second, projects which are coming up just in an area of about 100 square meters or maybe just 3 apartments will also come under the scanner now, as it will have to comply with all the provisions of the real estate regulator bill. Now, the government is likely to revisit the clause which mandates that 70% of the amount collected from home buyers will have to be kept in a separate account and will have to be utilized for that particular project. Now, this proposal is likely to be revisited because the Parliamentary Standing Committee has pointed to the fact that at times the land cost is really high, and introducing this particular provision might actually spike up project costs. So this is likely to be revisited. The meeting which is scheduled sometime this month is likely to take a call on this particular provision. Now, moving on, the other significant recommendation of the Parliamentary Standing Committee which is likely to be accepted by the government is bringing all real estate agents under the provisions of the law. Now, according to the recommendations of the committee, all real estate agents will have to register with the authority. However, it will be the responsibility of the developers and the builders to look into their business conduct. Now, in case there are any violations, a penalty of 10,000 rupees per day will be imposed on the real estate agents. And finally, strict timelines will be mentioned in the bill, and there will be specific provisions in the bill to implement the single window clearance system and have specific timelines for all clearances. So all in all, several major changes are likely to be made. Back to you.
All right, Unitam, so am I hearing you correct that the bill will also take care of one big issue that the developers have, that you can't bind us in delivering in time and, you know, penalize us if we don't, but then not give us single window clearance? How will the bill actually take care of single window clearances and approvals?
Well, Manisha, as far as top ministry officials have told us, and the Parliamentary Standing Committee recommendations have clearly mentioned here that they want a separate provision in the bill which will specifically mention that state governments and local authorities will have to comply with specific timelines, and they want the single window clearance to be set up within a stipulated time frame.
All right, Unitam, thank you very much for updating us. Well, we are going to keep a close eye on the developments on the regulatory bill front. And of course, the fact that it's not one-sided anymore, developers' plea is also being heard, is a good development, because finally we will get to see a bill. Won't we? Okay, on that note, let's cut across to Vinod Mathew, our first caller on the show, with his question on buying a property in Chennai. Vinod, welcome to the show. Go ahead.
Yeah, hi. I'm watching your show regularly. I'm shifting to Chennai actually, and I'm looking for apartment in Perungudi, and my budget is around 1 to 1.2 CR, and this is for my own use.
All right, so we have to work harder. It is for your own use, pretty much typical of Chennai market, Sameer, isn't it? Where buyers, there are not too many investors. So Perungudi, good location, budget, a very good one, 1 to 1.2 crores. What can we give him?
Yeah, first of all, we've got another micro market besides Perungudi, that's Thuraipakkam. Although the market is not appreciated as much as Perungudi, but it's cheaper on the weighted average price. So you can consider both the micro markets for your end use decision. And since it's a final end use decision, you don't really need to look at appreciation as a benchmark at all to take your final decision. The inventory overhang of the markets, Perungudi is safe 22 months and Thuraipakkam is a little higher at 28 months. The weighted average price 7,200 and 6,400, there's a huge price gap, and the locations are very close to each other. They're just right next to each other, in fact. So Perungudi has done about 39% on price appreciation, or 15% on an annualized basis, and Thuraipakkam has done about 7% on an annualized basis. The projects that you can consider are Falling Waters by Ambattur Developers. This is a project spread over 3.4 acres with 186 lifestyle apartments. It's a luxury project, and they have commercial building construction as well in the residential project itself. Project is just 4 kilometers from Tidal Park and close to the American International School, so social infrastructure is all in place over here. Ivania by Landmark Constructions, this is in Perungudi, this is at 6950. The project is a small one with only 24 units. The elevation of the building is low rise, it's G+3, and the project has got all its approvals from CMDA, and the project should get ready next year itself. Mandarin by Radiance Realty Developers. This is the only project in Thoraipakkam that we are recommending. This project is also got a large number of units, 270, and it has excellent connectivity with close proximity to the airport and prime residential localities in South Chennai like Adyar and Besanti Nagar.
Sameer, just a very important question. So, Thoraipakkam, you're recommending inventory overhang is 28 months. That's way above the danger mark. It's an end-use decision, so we don't have to worry because, prices can remain muted for some while. I'm sure they will catch up. My big question is there room for Vinod to actually negotiate with developers or not?
The markets...
These three projects that we've recommended.
Well, that's slightly difficult to say that whether the developer will always negotiate or not. Typically, in these given markets, you can negotiate at least 2 to 5% if you go directly with the developer. But it's a decision that you will have to sit across the table and negotiate.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Vinod, all that I can say is the recommended summary of the projects that we like is up on the screen, but looking at the slow sales in Thoraipakkam market, why don't you go ahead and give it your best shot? I'm sure the developers will be willing to give you some discount on the stated prices, or at least throw in some freebies as well, maybe a clubhouse membership, parking, any of those, but push hard because 28 months of inventory overhang means that that's the time it's taking for unsold inventory or unsold stock in Thoraipakkam to sell. So that's a figure. Above 24 months, we say if it's an investment decision, please don't invest in projects which have inventory overhangs or in micro markets which have inventory overhang of more than 24 months. But for you, it's a staying decision. So go ahead, buy, negotiate hard. Manish Srikhande, that's the next question we have, and he's joining us as well for a budget home in the city of Hyderabad. Manish, hi. Thank you very much for joining us. How can we help you?
Yeah, actually I want some recommendations about a suitable 2 BHK retirement home in Hyderabad. And I am interested in a flat in a gated community of a builder with proven track record, good quality of construction and clean and clear paperwork with all approvals in place.
All right. Is this a flat for yourself?
Yes. I would like to retain it.
Okay, Mr. Srikhande, you don't sound close to your retirement age, so I'm hoping it's still many years away. Your voice is sounding extremely young, but all right, 25 to 30 lakhs. Hyderabad is perhaps the only city with great infrastructure where we can give you something in a gated community in this budget, isn't it, Sameer?
Absolutely. Although there are not too many options where you have retirement options as such, where there are retirement homes that are being delivered, but we've got Miapur as a micro market which has got one of the best social infrastructure in place, which is very important for you considering when you're retiring. That market has also done pretty well now. It's done about 11% on price appreciation over the last 1 year, and the inventory overhang is 19 months, so which is very safe. The weighted average price of the market is at 3,050 rupees a square foot, whereas the projects that we are recommending to you are slightly below the weighted average price. So there is going to be slight scope of appreciation as well. But since it's an end-use decision, it's important that you look at the complex first and choose amongst the three as to what you think is the right floor plan for you and the right complex for you. ARK Towers Phase 2 by B. Arjun Reddy Constructions is the first project. This is at 3,000. This is ready to move in, so there is no wait required for this. It's a G+9 story project, total of only 5 towers and partially ready and occupied also. So this is something that you can move into right away. Then we have Prajapati Elite Phase 3 at Prajapati Group. This is at 2,800 rupees a square foot. This is a G+5 development, and this project is being delivered in 3 phases. Phase 1 is ready, while Phase 2 and Phase 3 are in advanced stages of construction and are likely to be completed over the next 3 to 4 months. So this is also a project where you don't have to take any execution risk, and both these projects are well financed by all the banks and all the approvals are in place. Lastly, Eco Valley by Shrija Builders and Developers. This is at 2,550. This is the cheapest project amongst the three. This project comes with basic amenities. Again, infrastructure is very good within the 2 kilometer radius. international schools are there, banks, hotels, everything is there within 2 kilometers itself, and it's just 11 kilometers from High Tech City. And you can look at this project as well. It's the cheapest among the three, although it's getting ready in 1 year from now.
All right, Mr. Srikhande, so no execution risk at your stage of life. Not really important to get into early stage projects which do carry a lot of execution risk from our point of view. So 3 projects, go ahead, take a look at them. The one with the best amenities is the one you should go for. We haven't been able to call out any particular retirement communities, but we will keep a lookout for them, and if we come across something good, we will get back to you on that as well. Vaibhav Rustogi writes in and he says, I have a budget of about 50 to 55 lakh rupees and have shortlisted a project called Sai Purna Luxuria by Srinivasa Developers at Harlu Road in Bangalore. They're offering a 2 BHK of 1,250 square feet in size. It looks to be a good project, but it seems to be close to a government dumping ground. How can I be sure that there is a dumping ground near it or not? I think, Samir, your team has researched that there is a waste management plant close by, isn't it? A sewage treatment plant rather. But is that a reason to be concerned about?
Yeah, I think that if there is a sewage treatment plant close by, then there is a challenge with respect to the project in terms of future appreciation, and that always becomes a little bit of a negative for the project. Whether it's being well treated or not, a treatment plant over there is not considered to be very good. Also, this project is a little out of your budget. If you look at it, it's trading at 4,600 rupees a square foot, and the minimum size is 1,256 square foot. So if you look at the total budget, it crosses 50 to 55 lakhs, it crosses 60 lakhs in fact. And if you were to look at micro markets, we would recommend keeping your budget in mind. Better projects available in Sarjapur, where the weighted average price is 4350 compared to Harlu Road's 4850, and the inventory overhang is also safe, it's under 24 months. The price appreciation trend, Sarjapur has been a little lower, 10% compared to Harlu Road's 15%, but price point wise it's much cheaper, and the projects that we are recommending are way below the weighted average price also. So they fit very well within your budget. Bliss is the first project by Samruddhi Realty. This is at 4,000 rupees a square foot. This project is located just off Sarjapur Road, close to Wipro corporate offices, and this is a small boutique project with only 40 odd apartments, but all the amenities are there. Then we have Verdure by Trifecta Projects. This is at 3,500 rupees a square foot. This project has a total of 144 units. Project is all approved. According to the developer, the project has got zero deviation from the plan, which is very positive. And lastly, we have GR Sankalya by GR Constructions off Sarjapur Road again at 4,000 rupees a square foot. This is spread across 4 blocks of G+4 stories. And there's malls. The total mall is just 4 kilometers away. Delhi Public School is close by as well. The project is between Sarjapur Road and Hosur Road. And the advantage of this location is that it's got good access to Electronic City as well.
All right, Vaibhav. So there are 3 projects that we've shortlisted. We do believe that if you're concerned about your project being close to a sewage treatment plant, those concerns are actually valid. So stay away from there. Sarjapur in your budget of 50 to 55 lakhs. And for the rest of our viewers who are looking within that budget at the Sarjapur micro market, these are our 3 chosen projects. Go ahead, take a look and take your pick. Noida, of course, has become the destination for budget and premium homes in the National Capital Region. A fresh supply of over 1.5 lakh homes will come into Noida in the next few years. But is Noida's infrastructure prepared to cater to such a huge influx? Or will it go the Gurgaon way? It's worth examining, and that's exactly what our reporter has done. We'll also come back with an expert take on your legal tangles in property, so don't go anywhere.